What internet marketing expert should you spend your valuable time listening to? Listen to someone who has over 20 years of web marketing experience and hundreds of website marketing success stories. That man is Aaron Sparks from Site Strategics. And this is Edge of the Web Radio.
Okay, an article from Buffer App by Garrett Moon. I just want to jump into this. Garrett Moon's actually a founder of CoSchedule, which is a social media editorial calendar for WordPress.
Yeah.
Okay, WordPress
cool.
is a CMS tool, a content management tool for websites, and this is a really cool production flow tool. Pardon me. Anyway, they really recently hit a milestone. They had more than 1 million headlines in their database. With a massive amount of content, they actually began wondering if they could learn about the relationship between a headline and its likelihood to be shared via social media.
Nice.
All right. So out of that data set, they actually dived into it, and they dug through the data, and they learned a lot of things that surprised them, actually. So they went into top 5 points that they're seeing that are displaying shareable content. So let's get into this real quick. They're easy to implement techniques, and these should be mindsets that you go into as you write your content, and not only the headlines, but also what the content's all about, obviously. But you have to make attractive headlines. So, number one, write headlines that are completely human. Okay, that can be seen from a mile distance. That yes, somebody actually wrote that. That's actually a human being, not trying to spam, not trying to SEOize this thing, not make it top search engines. That looks useful.
Yep.
After narrowing their data down, they came up with that. They looked at headlines that had received more than 1,000 shares. And they began categorizing those headlines by topics that they covered. Now, they grouped them into 6 primary categories: food, home, lifestyle, news, business, tech, and other. And the results were fantastic. Would you believe that 52% of those headlines that were measured there, that were over 1,000 shares or more, were related to food?
Wow.
Uh-huh.
No wonder why people share that.
Topics like food, home, lifestyle, and clearly accounted for 85% of the world's most viral content. Crazy.
That is crazy.
Food, lifestyle. I mean, the thing is, topics like business and tech and news actually accounted for only 14% of this traffic. Now, I know marketing tech blogs out there.
So I just need to start a food blog? Have you seen me? I can't do that.
Well, the takeaway is very simple. Readers share content that reaches them in a personal and a human way.
Yep.
All right. So topics that we discuss, that you should discuss. We discuss what we eat and how we live.
Right.
And it makes up a huge portion of what we share online.
You said huge portion.
I did. The challenge for us is to begin directing our own headlines in that direction. Lifestyle. I mean, lifestyle you can incorporate some dry type of headlines with lifestyle. And see, we're going to give you a couple of quick examples here. Another way to look at it is a strong use of a second person pronoun like you or your.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
Those clearly stood out as headlines that actually accounted for nearly 7% of those. So that's the overlap. Here are a few examples. So like an existing headline: social media and business advice and tips.
Yep.
Fantastic. All right. Well, it tells you what it is. But a more human version would be tips for social media and business that will keep you from going broke.
Right.
All right. It's better because
actionable,
and it brings you into it of a benefit, a transaction that you're going to get. And it's a fairly straight-laced topic, but it can be tied into a very human fear about going broke as well, right? Another quick example here is how to stay on top of email. It sounds a little bit actionable, but the more human version could be, yes, you can stay on top of email. Now, why is it better? This is actually a real post from blogger Michael Hyatt. He did a great job of adding a personal element that helped his readers actually attach his post to a current problem that they already understand. So that, yes, confirmation, right, has nothing to do with SEO, has nothing to do with getting a higher ranking. but it does attract people to that headline.
Puts a clear image in their head that they're going to reach a conclusion with the story.
And it's also already confirming that they've got a problem.
Right.
As opposed to people searching around for these type of terms. I mean, it's confirming to that individual. Number 2, measure the emotional value of your headlines. There's actually a tool. Now go check this out. We'll put a link on the edge. From the Advanced Marketing Institute. It's totally free, and it's a headline analyzer tool.
Ooh.
I love my tools. It actually works. This handy little tool promises to tell you how emotional your headline is by counting the number of emotional words that used in the phrases. Kind of neat there. Yeah, so Buffer App I'm sorry, not Buffer App, but the co-producer was analyzing posts with a high volume of shares. They found posts that had a particular EMV score, an emotional value score, that actually were sharing more than those with a lower score. Okay, so get into it. Posts with a high number of these shares frequently reach an EMV score of 30 or 40. Several points higher than posts with fewer shares. These held true while comparing 5 most shared and the 5 least shared posts of some of the world's most popular blogs. So it's a pretty interesting focus that you can actually see how emotional your headlines could be. For example, I got one for you. An existing headline: how to run your business from your iPad. Okay, the EMV score was 12.5%. The higher EMV score was how to be awesome at business with only your iPad. That actually scored a 40.
Wow.
Yeah. So you can actually put your headlines through that tool and be able to see that. And why do they work so well? Because that emotional connection readers have with that headline, that's what it all comes back to. So this is what we're talking about. You need to make things that will attract people, engage people. And I know it sounds kind of general when you say that, but there's a number of great tips. For example, stop relying on the same headline that you use for every network. Now check this out. You can have different headlines for different social media networks. Real quick, and we're going to have to tie this off, but in Facebook, there's a study that has been able to show that this is the kind of things that actually are attractive in our highly shareable headlines inside of Facebook. Things, recipe, about, video, should, reasons, homemade, healthy. And Pinterest, chicken, chocolate, recipe, butter, wedding, peanut, cookies, homemade. All right?
Bacon?
No bacon! What's up with that?
Fail.
LinkedIn has Google, Facebook, should, social, about, chicken, things, Apple, ideas, and media, right? So you can have one piece of content and you share it with different types of headlines in these networks. You're going to have a different type of response.
A lot of times we'll take a SEO headline and keep it fairly brief because it's 65 characters or so.
Yep.
But we'll make the headline a lot longer and a lot more descriptive and use those emotions so that people that find it on search engines, they're seeing the whole title, but people that are seeing it on social read this really nice emotional headline.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So here's the bottom line here, guys. Headlines win. Your headline will make a huge difference in the number of shares that your post receives, and there's a number of things that you can do to manufacture that traffic. So score your emotional headline. Do you know your emotional headline score?
That sounds like a dangerous thing.
It really does. All right.